Distinguished members of the board, maybe this game should have dildos. Yeah, it should have dildos, yeah. And now, for your favorite way to learn about the latest in gaming news, get ready to get funky, it's the SAMTIME News! And it's game time. Hello, welcome to the SAMTIME News. We get the latest and greatest news on video games. I'm your host, Sam Tucker, aka SAMTIME, and this episode is brought to you by a real-life Homer car. Let's get into some stories. First story today, we're going to get into some serious issues, some really serious in-depth. We're going to probe some important questions. We're going to probe some butts. Yes, Saints Row 4, unfortunately, has been denied classification in Australia because of a simple, innocent alien anal probe. Let's dig a little deeper, shall we? Previous Saints Row games have included a giant purple dildo, and Saints Row 4 is no different from this sexual content, including this anal probe, which is a weapon that you'd use, use your imagination. And the Classification Board of Australia said that it's overly sexually violent in an unjustified way for the game. I must say, it is somewhat disappointing that games are still getting refused classification in Australia, especially since we've recently gotten the R18 rating classification on board. But the Classification Board did put up a good argument against the offending weapon, and once they added it, I couldn't really imagine one of the members of the board really fighting for the weapon.
They should not have dildos in this game. Why would they have dildos? It's disgusting. A disgusting animal problem. This is ridiculous. A disgusting animal. Okay, not good for the kids. It's not good for the kids.
Distinguished members of the board, maybe this game should have dildos. Yeah, it should have dildos, yeah. Essentially, the board banned the game because the sexual violence wasn't within the context of the game. It just seemed a little explicit and abhorrent. But you know, the context of the game is comedy, and it's just meant to be a stupid thing. Yeah, it might be slightly bad taste, but come on. Anal probes. Anyway, in the future, I hope we can really get into these issues, dig deep, and if we all work together, push through all the way to the other side. And while we're on the topic of things getting banned in Australia, State of Decay, a survival horror game, has also been banned classification in Australia. The game was refused classification because it had explicit drug use of illegal drugs, and it's similar to Fallout. Fallout 3, they changed the name of morphine to Med-X, just like a make-believe drug, because when you have drugs in the game, which are illegal, and boost up your character, they said in this game it boosts up your character and makes it hard to play the game without these drugs. They didn't like it, so they said, no. A bit of a shame that mature people in a mature country can't play mature games. I mean, especially after I've finished The Last of Us, I need more survival horror happenings, and it's a shame that this game was banned. So pretty much the only option for these game developers, if they want to release it in Australia, they have to kind of tweak the game so it's to the alright happiness of the Australian Classification Board. Here's my thought: turn the drugs into a weapon against the zombies. Could you imagine a zombie on marijuana?
Brain.
Yeah, neither could I.
Attention, the SAMTIME News does not advocate drug use in any way, shape or form, unless it's used as a weapon to space out zombies.
Continuing with game developers playing it a little bit risque, The Last of Us developer Naughty Dog have put a little Easter egg in their most recent game, which turned out to be a little bit naughty. You naughty dog. Alright, there's not going to be any spoilers because The Last of Us is such an awesomely epic, amazing game that I can't risk anyone knowing anything about it if you haven't played it already. All it is just a poster about pest control. Pest control, that's not that bad. Here's the thing. The number that's on that pest control sign actually goes through to a hot sex number. What are they called? Sex hotline.
Hello?
Oh, thank God I got through. I have an uncontrollable beaver.
You're not the only one, huh?
Oh, now from one great game to another, or count 'em 8, Metal Gear Solid Legacy Edition is coming out. It has 8 of the Metal Gear Solid games. It's coming out July 9 for the PS3, plus a couple of comics, well, graphic novels. What's the difference between a graphic novel and a comic? If someone knows, please get angry at me in the comments. And exciting news that goes with this is that Hideo Kojima said he wouldn't mind a game company developing a remake of Metal Gear Solid 1 on using the Fox engine. Oh, and at least one company had a reply. They're up for it. The game development studio is called Just Add Water, and I love their little response they've given. Reasons they want to make the game. 1. We have experience with legendary IP, Oddworld inhabitants, and treating the subject matter with respect it deserves. Number 2. Many members of our team are huge Metal Gear fans with very good knowledge of the source material. And 3. My favorite. We really, really want to. Jaws team, you're too funny. I like how some companies, they can kind of be a bit jovial, be a bit funny, and they sign off love and cuddles. Moving from hilarious requests to heartwarming things, Robot Entertainment want to immortalize Wade Sharp as a character in one of their upcoming games. Yes, it's magical. The game company are answering a young boy's wish to kind of suss around a game studio and how a game gets developed and how to be a game developer and cool things like that. The story is that the kid has a thing where his bones are really brittle, they're like chalk, so he can't go out and run and play and have fun with sports, so he plays games and he has a lot of fun doing video games. At least this kid has a good excuse for not going outside and being active. Me, I'm just lazy. So the kid got to choose some sound effects and like some weapons in the game for his character, which was unfortunately called Wade the Supermaster.
Yeah, I must say, that's a pretty good sound effect you picked there, boy. Real good,
That's
real
great.
good.
Can we change the name?
No.
So a good story there, showing that Wade can be an ultimate superhero. But to be honest, if the year 2000 movie Unbreakable has taught us anything, is that anyone with this brittle bone disease is actually a supervillain, played by Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah! Yeah! Do you believe in my...
But another game turning perceived disabilities into superpowers is Rogue Legacy.
Yeah! Yeah!
It's a fantastic looking retro game where every character has a very interesting superpower. You can play as characters such as Sir John the Nearsighted, Sir Dude the Giant Colorblind Ninja, and my favourite, Lady Jojobo, the Flatulent Dwarf Mage. Anyone can be a hero, very smart, they all have their own superpowers. These so-called disabilities are really advantagizing them in the game. Advantagizing, a news term by SAMTIME. Advantagizing! Speaking about games, Garfield's Wild Ride is a stupid half-baked pile of The premise of this game is ridiculous. I'm sorry, not even in Garfield's dreams would he be running, flying, and riding a skateboard. Least of which for coins. I mean, at least make it lasagna slices. The only believable thing I saw in this game is when he got Odie to do all the work. I mean, you could substitute any character for Garfield in this game. It's a very lazy cash-in. Someone strapped a camera to their head and made a pretty awesome parkour, Mirror's Edge-ish video.
Good thing I have control over my body or else I'll jump this. Oh, what am I doing?
Pretty goddamn impressive.
Oh, man, down.
I mean, of course, I would try parkour if it weren't for, death. That's been the SAMTIME News. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you click all these videos, which are all fantastic, and I'll see you next time. And Ubisoft are going to immortalize us into a painting. SAMTIME, signing off.
Subscribe today.
Funk it down.
Ooh, Brian.
Speaking about games, Garfield's Wild Ride is a half-baked, stupid-ass shit cashed-in pile of fuck.
You got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter now.
Does he look like a bitch?